Hey world. So, today I'm going to be talking about 5 signs that I was trans and completely ignored these 5 major signs. And hopefully, if any of you are going through one of these signs, maybe think about it. Don't be like me and just ignore it or be in denial. No. Don't do that. I'm going to do this while eating my cereal. So, yeah. So, first sign, I'm doing this chronologically too. So, earliest sign for me was not fitting in with females. So, background information, I was literally trained by my fellow classmates on the first day of kindergarten that boys
sucked.
Boys were bad, boys were evil, girls were great, girls were better, girls were superior. Of course, it was the girls telling me this, not the guys. So, I was literally trained to hate them, despise them. I was, if any girl talked to a boy, no other girl would talk to her. She would be shunned from the friend group because it was rule number 1, don't talk to boys. Rule number 2, don't play with boys. So it was I was not supposed to interact with boys. It was because boys were evil. That's literally what I was taught when I entered school, that boys just sucked. And girls were better. I wonder, I bet it would have been the same. I bet if the boys were telling me stuff, I bet they would have just said the same thing. So my school kind of segregated itself. Self-segregated. Which I do not agree with, but we can talk about that in another video. So, I didn't even attempt to interact with boys or fit in with the boys. So I had no one else to fit in with than the girls. So I tried so hard to fit in with the girls by just being myself, early on in elementary school. Didn't work. Didn't work. So what I did was I started realizing, I see, I'm very, I'm a androgynous kind of person. I didn't know what androgyny was, but I was androgynous, and also I was I wasn't full, it's complicated, but I knew I had to change myself to fit in. So I started trying to act more like a girl and be a girl. Tried so hard to be a girl, just to fit in. It was miserable. It was miserable. But, I just tried so hard. You should have seen me try. God knows I tried.
The devil
knows I tried. And failed miserably to make any friends. I did make some friends, while I was there. Very few. But then they would move, or they weren't liked by other girls because they were different, and felt a lot of pressure to not be their friend. Elementary school was hell for me. Yeah, it was the first hell I went through. We'll get to the second hell later, soon. So, that was kind of the first sign. I just could not be a girl. I couldn't fit in with the girls. But I don't know. In my mind, I thought, it's just one of those can't fit in problems. I'm just not like other girls. No, I wasn't a girl. That was the problem. I was like so desperate to fit in, and nothing was working out, that late elementary school, I did attempt to interact with the boys at the cafeteria lunchtime. There was a girl table and a boy table. I went to the boy table and there was a spot empty, and I was like, can I sit here? And they're like, no, you're a girl. So moving on to the next sign, which was being called a tomboy. Now, the fact that I was a tomboy was a sign, but I don't think I've said this before.
I was a dumb child. I was stupid. The stupidest child there was.
So, I think it started late elementary school. I was being called a tomboy. I thought tomboy was like a type of boy because boy was in the word. Like how we say femboy, or a masculine boy, or a bad boy, a good boy, you know. I thought tomboy was a type of boy. So for a few years, I thought people were calling me a boy. A type of boy. I didn't even know what type of boy. I didn't know what tomboy meant. I just knew it had boy in it and thought I was being called a type of boy. And I was okay with it. I didn't care what it meant. I was like,
I like this. I like being called a tomboy.
God, that's so like me to not even know what tomboy meant. But I was like digging it. I was like,
Okay, I can get used to this. I actually have already gotten used to it. I love being called a tomboy. Call me a tomboy.
and then later, probably in middle school, I learned that tomboy actually means a girl, a boyish girl. So actually, I think I wanted to stop being called a tomboy after I learned the true meaning of it. It's like, oh, well, now I don't want you to call me a tomboy. Now that I know what it really means. Okay, third sign was puberty, which I call my second hell. My mom got me a book that explained puberty for girls, because she wanted me to be prepared. You know, it was smart. I'm glad she got that for me. That was really, I kind of appreciated it because it actually taught me a lot. But going through that book, I was like,
Okay, so I see a bunch of girls happy. Can I be one of these girls? Nope. No, this isn't me. Like, it doesn't feel like me. This isn't my type of puberty. I have other plans for me.
So at 12 years old, my entire puberty experience summed up. This isn't supposed to happen to me. I was starting to hate my body. Every little change that happened, I hated it. I was just so upset, and it really sucked. So, and like, my mom kept saying it was okay and natural. It's like, oh, you're gonna be a young woman. And I seriously
would strangle her.
Because it's like, no, like every time someone called me a young woman, I seriously wanted to strangle them.
But it's my mom. I'm not gonna strangle my mom.
I thought it was forever. I thought I could not change what was happening to me, and it was going to be like this forever. Like, whatever I looked like, I was like, I'm gonna look like this, and it's gonna grow. It's gonna keep on changing. I just felt like, just like Thanos says,
it's inevitable.
Like, I hated the sound of woman. I hated being called a woman. So I like said, I'm a girl, because I thought girl was better than woman. I just hated the idea of being a woman. I just accepted that my fate was being a woman, and I just kind of pushed down my feelings. Sign number 4. I was a very creative person, very imaginative. I would like imagine, like in my head, characters. It's kind of complicated, but I would be the main character of whatever story I was making. I was always a guy. My mind immediately made me a boy when I imagined things. I would imagine it so much that I would even misgender myself sometimes. Final sign. Now this was completely subconscious. Dreams are completely subconscious. So I think my mind was ready to see myself as a boy. And so I'm talking 2 to 3 years of just dreams of me as a boy. The only time in my dreams I would be a female was in nightmares. Biggest signs, I think those are big, 5 big signs that I was trans. Sorry that this was a long video. Like, I plan to make shorter videos in the future, hopefully. But this is like, I don't know, I feel like this had to be a little long, because this is important information, you know, that you guys should know, because you might have experienced these things. I'm not assuming any of you are dumb. I think all of you guys are just so much smarter than I am. So, just, you know, be true to yourself, and yeah, have a good rest of your day.